Have you done anything like this before?
No, first time. Yeah.
Nervous?
More worried about what I'll say. You know, I'm under strict instructions from the wife anyway, so she's drilled me.
Strict instructions to talk shit about her, eh?
Well, no, just to watch what I say.
You're getting me curious. What was the strict instructions from your wife? Could we just go through them and have a review them?
Yeah, don't insult anyone.
I mean, you can insult me as much as you want.
Yeah. No, it's.
I mean, you can insult anyone.
There's no one. I'm not.
If you felt like insulting someone around here, who would it be?
There's no one. I get on with everyone here. So. I know you get your sound bite straight out there.
The microphone check. What's your name?
Tom Hayman.
What's your age?
So I'm 87, so 37, I think.
Yeah. I'm 85. So.
Yeah.
And where are you from?
From Wales.
Okay, we're gonna do this in English, all English. So
Yeah. My Norwegian's pretty poor, so.
Your Norwegian is poor. My English is worse.
No,
my English is better
very
than
good,
your.
yeah.
My English is better than your Norwegian.
Much
basically.
better. Yeah.
Welcome to a new episode. Do you call it episode?
Yeah.
Edition?
Episode.
New edition? Would you say edition?
Just new episode.
New episode is good. Of Reve Allstars from the edge of Jæren, Norway, with me, Kim Jung Reve, Ivar, and
Tom Hayman.
Yeah, introducing yourself.
Well, it was a pause. It was. I thought that's my chance.
Yeah, perfect. Normally a Norwegian-speaking podcast today we're doing it in English because Thomas is obviously not Norwegian, as you can. I mean, could you go as a Norwegian?
No.
Why not? I mean, apart from your accent. I mean, if I just walked by you on the street.
Yeah. Would I pass?
Yeah.
I wouldn't, no. The wife always gets mistaken for being Norwegian, but I don't, no.
How come?
Just blonde.
Okay, yeah, it's just only if you had a blonde wig on, I would think you were Norwegian.
No, nobody. Sometimes in the supermarket, people speak to me in Norwegian, and it gets to a point where I understand a little bit, then it goes past it, and they've said a joke, and I'm, you don't know.
Do you have a go-to word you use?
Not really, no. What do you mean?
Yeah, like if people talk to you in Norwegian, then you answer like.
I usually I try and play along that I've understood it, and and then sometimes I have to admit that I'm completely lost. And that's the worst part. That's what makes me want to learn it the most. Is sometimes like just a supermarket queue, someone will say a joke or something, and you might get the gist of it, and you don't know whether to do just laugh or just admit that you didn't quite get it, you know, and you can't ask them to say it again in English because the moment's gone. So yeah,
especially if you acted like you understood it in the first place.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah,
this should be the fucking podcast. We should just be walking around stores in Stavanger.
Just watch, see if I can blag it or not.
Welcome to the. I don't know that in Norway we say speakertelt. I have no fucking. What do we call like this tree building in English? Camper.
Shed. Camper.
Welcome to the shed.
Welcome to the shed. Yeah, I don't know.
How are you doing, Thomas?
Yeah, good. Yeah, really good.
It's spring, summertime in Jæren now. Did you watch I was driving down here like half an hour, one hour ago, and there was it's when it's been raining here in Jæren and the sun comes out and it was sunny. The spirals of bugs.
The flies,
the typhoons of flies. Did you see them?
Yeah.
And in the afternoon sun, it looked like it was fucking beautiful. So I thought sometimes I do English with English guests, and I do some Norwegian bits. Yeah. But this time around, I thought I would just only do English because, I mean, the most important thing about this podcast is making your buddies back home laugh at you, and we can't do anything Norwegian at all. Then.
No,
How long have you been in Norway for?
I started working out here in 2018. I moved over in 2019, 19, 20. But then obviously there was COVID, so the family hadn't moved over. So I was commuting in between when I could, and eventually the wife got a job out here and moved over as well. So
now, was it the work that asked you to go here, or did you want to go here?
No, it's like the. Well, I mean, working in the Norwegian oil industry is a golden ticket. You know, you get a schedule, and it's unheard of in the UK.
Tell your buddies back home how your schedule works.
Well, yeah, I get a 2-4, 2-3, 2-4 schedule. So, and at the moment, I'm working in an office down the road, so I can surf after work. And whereas in the UK, I was.
Is it 2-2 in the UK?
No, you don't get a schedule. You spend your whole life terrified of your telephone in case it rings and it's work. And, so like you'd go like 3 weeks working, you might get a week off. Usually it'd be flat during that week off, so you'd miss like a couple of months of surfing in a row, and it was just too much. So as soon as I got, I mean, like I say, it's one of the best places for work-life balance in the world, isn't it? So especially
for the oil business, because I mean, if you don't know Norway, when Thomas said 2-4, it's 2 weeks working. I mean, you work all hours.
12-hour shifts, So
and you have to be on a platform usually, not an office.
Usually, but a lot of it's moving onshore now.
And then you get a month off. Usually, people turn into alcoholics when they're back home. How's your alcohol consumption?
It's non-existent over here because it's so expensive. But the UK sector, you get like a lot offshore. You'd call them functioning alcoholics. You know,
these are the people that keeps the bar industry in Norway going. So. Did you know about Stavanger surf before you came here? Or
I knew a bit about it. You had the Euros here. A couple of friends of mine competed in it.
In the Scottish team or in the English?
In the Welsh team. Yeah, I mean a Welsh guy won it. God,
I was actually helping out there. I couldn't remember there was a Welsh team. Okay, but of course.
Yeah, but so a lot of the guys came over. I knew there was waves. Even when you fly in, you can see them from the top. And obviously, when you know there's waves, you start following local photographers like yourself and.
So you kind of knew what you were getting into.
I knew there was waves out here and following local surfers like for the Gower and stuff like that. So. I knew there was surf, but obviously it's hard to know how frequent it is and stuff like that. So
obviously you only see it when it's working.
You usually see it when it's at its best, so you don't see the consistency and stuff like that.
I mean, that would be like it would be the same everywhere, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You're not going to post the worst days, but
this is Thomas's wish for social media going forward. Is every surf spot should be. What do you call it? Like portioning the pictures and the video.
Well,
in a realistic time.
Well, I mean, you want to see the realistic what you're actually getting because.
Do you hear this? You should tell your wife this. She needs to post. Shit, and then nice, and then shit.
But she'll, like I say, she gets annoyed with me because a lot of the time. Yeah, I'm so critical of myself. Like you watch yourself surf and you're like, don't like that.
You kept telling me you didn't smile good either.
No, I'm not. I'm terrible when it comes to photos. When it comes to I kind of grimace instead of smile.
This is. I mean, I've been photographing people for ages, and the most common thing people say is they hate themselves smiling.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a South Park episode once. And I can't remember. It doesn't fucking matter. The thing is, it's your face. Deal with it.
Yeah. Oh, it's like anything. So when you watch yourself surf, you're like, you think you're killing it, and you're like, I'm looking amazing. And then you look back, and you're like,
yeah, that's true.
You notice everything you've done wrong, and arm positions, and there's all sorts.
Like, you just get accepted, and also you have like the tight wetsuit. With the nose sticking out and the mustache makes you look like a pedo.
Yeah. With the hood and the
shitty pedo surfer.
And like I'm quite chunky anyway, so as soon as you put me in a 6mm in a hood, I look horrendous. So.
Shouldn't be so self-critical. You could be the best surfing Michelin man from Wales at Jæren.
That's try to think. There are other Welsh surfers out here who can compete, I guess. So.
Nice to have you here, Thomas. I have actually been to Wales a few times, and I thought we should start with the most important question I have for you.
Go on.
And because one of my best mates from old times, Andy, shout out to Andy Johnson. He's living in Cardiff.
Yeah.
So I've been visiting him in Cardiff, and also I was camping like with a tent in the Mumbles, not the Mumbles, but the Gower, 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 Gower.
Oh, the Gower, yeah, that's where I'm from, yeah.
Yeah, and Swansea.
Yeah.
And so I've been in like quite a few places in Swansea.
Yeah.
And what always comes back to me is, why the fuck is Swansea such a shithole?
Yeah, the actual city itself is horrendous.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on, but outside the city it's stunning. You know, you've got like we got the highest density of castles. We've got nice beaches.
Yeah, but that's outside the city, though.
Yeah, but yeah, it's weird. It's just a strange place. Like you get people who live in the city.
Uh-huh.
That just don't leave the city, like, you know, they don't go in, like it's quite isolated. You know, like I'll go surfing up to Cardiff for the day, and people are like, "Oh, you've gone to Cardiff for a day?" You know, like it just blows their mind that someone would drive an hour for a surf or a day out. Or, yeah, it's just a bit of a strange place, I guess.
I mean, obviously Swansea probably has its good sides as well.
Yeah. No, it's. But the city centre is a bit run down, and as a night out, it's a bit rough, and yeah.
Could you give me a rundown, 2-sentence rundown of a night out in Swansea?
Oh, it's just, I mean, it's all on one street. It's called Wine Street, and you get a lot of guys who just like scrapping, you know.
Scrapping, what's that?
Like having a punch up and stuff.
Oh, okay,
and especially guys like me, who's not massive but not small. Seen as a good option.
Yeah,
because it's not like you're picking on someone, and it's not like you're pushing yourself.
You don't pick the smallest guy, but you don't pick the biggest guy either.
So it gets, like I say, it's a good night out, but it's you often see fights on the street and stuff like that. And,
but I mean, obviously, I read about the history of industries falling over in Wales and everything. We know about that. So I mean, it's not like it doesn't make sense. A city in Wales would be shitty though. But I mean, it's
like I said, like usually the people are really nice and stuff. Yeah. But there's a lot, like everyone's like rugby's quite big there and stuff like that, and you get rugby clubs going out and stuff, and there's. Like I say, it's.
I feel like I'm talking Indian now, talking shit about Swansea. I wanted to check out Swansea on like TripAdvisor.
Yeah,
or something.
Don't bother. But check out Gower.
The fun thing is like if you type in Swansea on TripAdvisor, you get recommendations like, wow, shit, there's so many good spots in Swansea, and then you look at them and it's like Gower Peninsula. Everything is outside of Swansea.
Yeah.
But I took a bus ride outside from Swansea to the Gower. Fucking hell, like night and day. So beautiful.
Yeah, the Gower's stunning. Yeah, that's where I was brought up, and the beaches are lovely. The surf's like, there's a lot of surf options. There's loads of coves and stuff for different conditions.
So you're from Gower, or
I'm from Gower? Yeah, Gower, end of Gower, Llangenef. I'm from.
Yeah.
So where the Worm's Head is.
Yeah. You're actually from there.
Yeah. That's my local beach.
To describe to people, it's like it's like Game of Thrones basically. It's like a one road leading towards.
To the end. Yeah, and it's great in summer.
And a huge
thriving in summer, but
beach.
winter. Yeah, it's like a 7 mile beach or something. And it's got a wave at one end called Peaks, which is a really peaky wave, and then it's got like sheltered spot the other side. But it's like there's waves all across the beach. And you get the Worm's Head, which is like a peninsula going out to sea. It's actually comes from Nordic or something. The actual name for it.
It's a beautiful place.
But yeah, it's stunning, and there's loads of reefs and beach breaks, and it's a nice spot.
So what's the so how far from this? Where's your local village? Like, is it?
No, it's Llangenef. It is Rhossili Bay. I live.
It is that.
I used to walk down there on a daily basis. Yeah. I walk there from where I grew up, and 5 minutes from there.
So you're lucked out, basically.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it's great, but all you can do there is surf. Like, there's literally nothing. Like, I tried skating. There's no pavements. It's hills. There's no pavement. It's maybe mountain biking, but I never really got into that. So yeah, like. That's how I got into surfing.
That's a sad story. The young Thomas, he wanted to go ice skating or something.
Well, like you get options here. You can go snowboarding. You got skate parks and stuff. Whereas there, even if you want to get in wintertime, even if you want to get a pint of milk or something, you're driving 15 minutes. It's pretty.
It's fucking cool.
It's pretty isolated, but it's great in summer. It was, it's busy, loads of people there, all the campsites open. And
it's basically pretty much like a tourist.
It's
of
a
people
tourist
in the
spot.
summer.
Yeah.
How big is the community in the winter time?
Oh, it's tiny. It's like there's like 100 people.
Jesus.
Maybe, and then there's probably about 5 of you that are under 20 or something. And throw a stick, you'll probably hit a cousin. It's pretty small place, like, so.
And isn't there like not expats, but you call it like, you have the surf spots in Norway like Hardervika and Lofoten. I mean, surfers move there, like, so. I mean, it's not a huge community anyway in Norway, but if you go to Lofoten, you would have surfers living there. Wouldn't there be surfers living in Flangwin? What's the name of your village?
Flangenef.
Yeah, Flangenef. Wouldn't you have people moving there to surf, or is it?
You do, like, you get, like, there's some people moving there to surf, but it's quite an expensive place, So it tends to be either people that grew up there, or older retired people moving down, type thing. So yeah, there are some surfers that move down there and stuff, but.
How did your family end up in the area, though?
Oh, they've always been there.
Oh,
yeah, they've never moved. Like I can trace my family tree back generations, and nobody's left. So
they just appeared there, and then they kept being there.
Yeah. So like I said,
it's fucking awesome. I remember distinctly being there and fucking loving the place. I didn't go surfing though. I just went camping with a friend.
Yeah. No, like I say, it's you kind of need to know someone there to get the best waves, because the tides are huge.
Yeah, I mean, it was flat as fuck when I was there.
Yeah. But usually there'll be a wave even when it's somewhere, like a little wedge or something you can find. But it's quite.
It's all beach break for you in the start, and mostly.
Well, yeah, mainly because my parents weren't really into surfing, so like a lot of the kids there have parents into surfing that take them to different spots and stuff. But like the beach was it for me. Like I'd walk there and I'd surf it, no matter what the conditions would be, like how big it was. It was the only option type thing.
Yeah, it was what you did.
So until I started driving, that's basically the only place I'd surf really. So
could you give me on the rundown? Because for I've been to Galway. I haven't been to Cornwall, but it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so easy when you just think about Wales and surfing, like just passing through, you would think that, you have Ireland and then you have Cornwall.
Yeah.
And then Wales is just in the middle.
Yeah.
Why go to Wales?
I mean, compared to Cornwall seems to pick up a little bit more swell, but Wales is really good if you know where to go. Like it all comes up that one channel, the Bristol Channel. So all the spots in North Cornwall and all the spots in South Wales get similar sort of swells, but like you've basically only got like a 40-degree swell angle, whereas like it's not like here where you get like 180 degrees and you get dual swells and stuff. Like everything comes up that channel, and like a more northerly, like a more west or a bit of north in the swell will get up to Cardiff better, and then more south will stay towards the West Wales side and stuff. So but yeah, like I say, it's just one channel, and then depending on the size, you'd maybe move further up towards Cardiff or further back towards Pembrokeshire way.
So how does it compare to the? I mean, if I was gonna go on a surf trip to UK, should I go to Ireland or should I go to Wales?
Well, I mean, Ireland's incredible.
Yeah, there you go.
it's one of the best places I've ever surfed. I used to get a ferry there quite often, like a few times a year, before kids and all that sort of stuff.
Before life hit you.
Yeah, and the ferries have gone quite expensive now. Cornwall is, it gets really good beach breaks. Some of the banks and stuff are just like it's really easy to surf, if you know what I mean. Like you can do multiple turns and stuff, and yeah, it's quite linked up. But yeah, there's not a huge amount of difference. Like a lot of the good British surfers now, a lot of the top British surfers, or top European surfers, even like Patrick Landon Dark and stuff, they're from Wales, from the area I'm from, and like they're competing, at doing really well on the QSs and stuff.
Cool. Because the other was, how is your mobility going? So you could go to, if it's working where you are, it's okay, stay home, and then you can.
Yeah, it's easy to get. It's way easier than here.
Yeah.
Well, it's easier to get. It's like I say, like it's like an hour to Cardiff. But there's spots all the way between Swansea and Cardiff, and the same to go towards Pembrokeshire way. And there's multiple spots, and there's little coves and stuff. And yeah, like if you know it, it's a really good place to surf.
That's cool. It probably has. Not to compare it to Jæren or anything, but Jæren was also like it has so many possibilities.
Yeah. Jæren, I find Jæren. It's similar in a way. Like Jæren, you get bigger waves. Like Jæren to me, it's got to be one of the hardest places to surf because the waves just seem to, like they're quite powerful here. A lot more powerful than Wales because it kind of comes up the channel. But they seem to go you seem to get like 3 different wave speeds in one wave here. It's quite tricky to surf. Whereas Wales is quite, you can do like 4 turns in Wales quite easy. Whereas trying to sneak one in here can be a mission, so
yeah, okay. And for you, having traveled the world and surfed everywhere, you can compare and contrast.
Yeah, but this is what I find weird with like Norway reminds me a bit of Wales like 10 years ago or something, where there was a lot of good surfers, but you'd compare yourself to like guys in France and guys and stuff like that, where you're watching them getting perfect waves all the time, whereas there's guys here, like for example Silas.
Yeah, shout
to
out
me
to Silas,
is really good.
The Grommet.
But he's similar standard to a lot of the guys in Wales that are doing the qualifying series and stuff, but. And there's guys coming through like Soren. There's a couple of guys down Lister way, like Sigurd and
the young
Sanders and stuff.
Kids.
Yeah, that they're really good quality of surfers. But it's a bit like Wales. Like 10 years ago, we just didn't think we'd compete at a certain level. And then you got guys like Patrick Landon Dark, who's now like he just missed out on the Challenger series. You got Logan Nicol. You've got Alice Barton winning QSs, and it just all of a sudden like a couple of guys started pushing themselves on the QS, and then their standard just blew up. They just got a lot, and now there's a lot of guys coming through and a lot of like strength and conditioning and stuff.
Strength feeds strength, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and like I say, you can see it here. Like, there's a couple of guys. Like, I'd like to see a few guys here have a go on just some of the smaller QSs. Just to be around that standard and push themselves a bit more. And then, obviously you got some really good surfers here now, like Tim and Patricio, Tiago. Like these guys, they can feed off a bit, but. A lot of the problem as well when they started doing the QSs is like you're competing against guys who are doing heats all the time, and it's not always about being the best surfer as well.
It's about adapting.
It's about knowing the heat strategy and stuff, and it'd be interesting to see a few of these guys just do a few more comps. Like I say, I think a few years ago I watched Silas. Was it in Puerto Rico? And he had like he was in like the top
in the youth championship, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he was in like on one of the days he was in the top heat scores, and like the guys he was in there with now are like competing at a really high level, you know. But it's just, I'd like to, it'd be cool to see some of these guys.
You hear that, Silas?
Yeah.
Thomas works in the oil industry, so he's got money. Yeah. He's going to send you on the first
well,
plane.
This is. I think this is a problem, you know, is sponsorship and having that sort of money to do the QSs and stuff.
But that would be the same probably everywhere. I mean, niche sports in general always have a problem.
No, money. It is, yeah. But like I say, it's also like a lot of the gym work and the strength and conditioning and stuff. There seems to be a bit more of that now in Wales, and there used to be. Like I say, like 10 years ago, it was just like recreational surfing, like here. But it's expensive, you know. It depends if they want to do that. But
I mean, like Norwegian chess, we have all of a sudden we got Magnus Carlsen being the best chess player in the world, and then pops up chess clubs everywhere, you know, and then it feeds into it. Yeah,
no, it does. Yeah, no, and you see that back home, you know, like when Pat started doing well in the contest, and Logan and Alice, like now there's a whole group coming through that are, you know, following their lead, but it just seems like it hasn't quite happened here yet. But it, you know, and I think a lot of that is to do with, like, you can't compare the waves here to waves elsewhere, you know. Like I surf here and I'm thrilled when I do one turn, you know, whereas I can go back to Wales and I can string quite a few turns together type thing. So it's.
But you got to work with what you have, basically.
And you've got to push yourself. Like I say, like I usually surf the beaches here, like, and I'm more than happy to just pull in the closeouts over and over. And it's, you know, you think it's pointless, but you go back to a wave where it's actually lets you out of the barrel, and you know you're a lot. Yeah, you learn a lot from it. You know?
You got the experience for years, so you doing you is the good thing. Yeah.
But it's like I say, the waves are here, but like sometimes, I don't know, like a good wave here, a lot of people think is one where you're making it every time type thing, whereas a lot of the time, like the beaches when they're massive, are always worth a shot, I reckon.
Because this love of the beach breaks seems to be a dominating factor with you, and I think I can't always wrap my head around it. But
I think like I say, I don't grovel well. I'm quite chunky, so I don't grovel well. So if I turn up somewhere, I'll always look for the bigger wave, and usually the bigger wave's on the beach. And also the wife likes me to surf horrendous stuff. I don't know if she's trying to get rid of me early or something, but yeah, if she's got a choice, she'd rather me paddle out at like double overhead Bora than surf, like, I don't know, head high.
But she likes to photography you, so she's probably pushing you.
She does, yeah. So she's pushing me.
She doesn't want you to die, but she just wants you to nearly die.
Yeah,
so
but
she can have that picture of you nearly dying.
Sometimes even when the phone's dead, she's still telling me to get out there. So
it's cool though, having your own cheerleader, basically.
Yeah. No, it is cool. Yeah.
How do you? I mean, you talk about other people here being good, and you talk about the great surface of Wales. How about yourself? How do you
rank?
Yeah.
I probably missed a chance, I guess.
But I get the feeling, of course, that you're what do you call it, like humble, way too humble about yourself. Do you beat yourself up a lot, or
I do, yeah. And yeah, like I'm quite critical of my surfing a lot of the time.
How come?
I don't know, just
it's just the way it is.
Yeah, like I say, I like what I like, and I just I don't like surfing in busy areas. I like to just do my own thing, and like I don't know, and like contest wise, like Wales as well, like it's often small when the contests are on.
It's the same everywhere, yeah.
And I'm okay at competing when there's a decent sized wave, but as soon as it's like shoulder high or under, I just trip over my feet.
Yeah,
I don't know, something goes in my head.
You're not a Brazilian, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not a Brazilian, no. And it's like I say, like back in Wales, there'd be one contest a year when I was growing up, you know, and no one really pushed out. Like a few of the guys did, but there used to be a UK Pro Tour, but there was like a fair bit of time where there wasn't a lot of contests and stuff like that. So, yeah, and like I say, you'd compare yourself with people, even people in England, you know, and you think, oh, there's no way we'd be that sort of standard, you know. Whereas, yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of good surfers in Wales that probably didn't make their potential, I guess.
Yeah, it's funny. Being self-critical is a good way to get better, basically, because you focus on what you're doing wrong and what you need to do better. Yeah, but at some point, of course, you need to stop and smell the roses and enjoy yourself as well.
Yeah, so no, it's, a lot of it as well now is like I say, like there wasn't a lot of videoing and stuff like that when we were growing up. You know, it's like that's like now everyone's got access to cameras. Someone you know, so you can pick up your mistakes. Whereas, yeah, like. Sometimes it's bad in a way because a lot of people end up with similar styles because like always copying someone else. But yeah, I guess like when I watch myself surf, like, you know, my arm's in the wrong position or something like that, and I'm like, oh. But it's weird because I watch Scott surf here, and his arms are perfect every time. So I don't know if he's been
you hear that, Scott? Perfect skill, perfect way.
I watch that arms. And I'm like, either he's watched like surf movies over and over, or I don't know. You'll have to answer that.
It's probably the whole Norwegian.
Like I watch his
Norwegian, French, and like, Tenerife, Spanish.
Yeah, that's how I want to look. But my arms like behind me, or and I'm like, oh.
Should just paint and like tape your arms to your body. You could be the best straight down arm surfer in the world.
I could do. Yeah, that's. I try that when I'm packing, when I'm trying to pull in the clothes out. So just
paddle with your dick and everything. And
no, it's. I don't. Like I say, it's. I surf all right when it's bigger, but I'm not much of a groveler. So.
It's funny because I mean I know so many people down here on the coastline here as well, very self-critical, and I'm also self-critical.
Yeah.
Not so much with the bodybuilding I'm doing now because I look like a fucking idiot. I'm 2 meters tall on a small body, but I look like an idiot anyway. So I mean,
as long as you're enjoying it,
I'm enjoying it. But I mean, with I do the same thing with the camera, beating myself up there's like one small detail.
Yeah. No, I do it all the time.
And it's the same thing. Like it's the same. I mean, it's different things, but it's the same mechanism. Yeah, you know what you want.
Yeah.
And you keep searching for it. And the thing is, because it's not easy, that's what makes it fun. You know. Keeps you going.
Like I say, it's I am way overcritical a lot of the time, and in my head, like I'll watch something. It's weird because I watch videos of me surfing from like 4 years ago. And I remember hating that video, and then I watch it again. I'm like, oh, actually, that looks pretty good.
So it grows on you, basically.
Maybe, yeah, over time. Either that, or I feel like, yeah.
But because I looking at your social media, I wouldn't judge you a guy who's. I mean, you don't post everything on social media, but you do post yourself, and you just did a video clip with Richard and Vision, a long video, like minutes
with Matt,
I mean, you wouldn't do that if you're too. I mean, you can take yourself being shown, I guess.
to an extent, yeah. So, like I say, like I did that video with a mate of mine, Matt, filmed it.
Brilliant. Shout out to that guy, yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. No, he wanted to get something off the coast, and obviously the waves weren't pumping, but a lot of that video is shot in just days when I'm out on my own, you know, like awful onshore 2 ways and stuff like that, and he kind of wanted to portray, you know,
it's the reality.
The reality of this coast and stuff, and it's weird because a couple of surfers have said, you know, that they liked it more because it was, you know, it's kind of pushing them to go out on the days where, you know, it's not perfect offshore, it's not perfect bobbler or something like that. You know, it's like a lot of it was just junky 2 ways, and it was quite interesting. And it was quite cool. Like it was quite cool to see how it came out. You know, and I like the fact he started it with you know, with a lot of makes and stuff, but he also put in a lot of the barrels where it get clipped, and, you know, couple of the falls and stuff, because it happens all the time. Yeah, you get a good section, and you like all of a sudden it hits like a big rock and it bottoms out.
Most of the time it doesn't work out, basically.
No, it doesn't, exactly. And it's like I say, it's one of the hardest places to look good surfing anywhere, but you learn so much surfing around here. Like it's like I say, if you surf like if you take off on these corners, manage to get a bit of travel, and then get shut down on, but you take that then to France or somewhere like that, you'll be making a lot of waves and stuff. So it is good to push yourself in less perfect conditions and stuff.
Get in the ocean.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm driving by the harbor, and our good friend Frode is sitting on completely fucking flat ocean, and I can't always understand.
He's in most times, but that's what you need to do, But
but
like some of these waves are good fun. Like I love like big onshore 2-ways when it's like 3 meters and it's just horrendous, and you sit out there on your own and it's washing all over the place, and like sometimes I'll be out there for an hour and I'll get one good wave, but it's just it's worth doing type thing. So
putting in the hours and everything.
I thought maybe like amongst maybe the surf schools are saying like everyone should be surfing together now, because I get the feeling like if you
safety in numbers.
Yeah, if you drive past Bora and you see Frode Gower out there at 5 a.m, that's the best place to go, because he spent the last 3 hours driving around the coast
with the night vision goggles.
Exactly. Yeah.
How does the crowds compare here to Wales?
It depends. Like I say, like the last few days I've been surfing on my own on the beach, so it's been fine.
Basically, we're off season now in June. There should be people around if this wave's coming around, which it has been. Yeah.
But then I surf bobbler.
I'll beep it out afterwards. No
worries. But
bobbler is fine, by the way.
Yeah. No, well, I was going to say the crowds there. It's such a tight takeoff spot, and it can get really frustrating because whoever's deepest gets the wave, but then you just end up pushing each other onto that rock and stuff. So there's a lot of crowded waves here, but I can also surf on my own. Like I spend a lot of my time just surfing with me and a mate, but I surf a lot of stuff a lot of people aren't too keen to paddle out in,
You said it 3 meters onshore on 2-ways. It's one of those.
Like I say, like I'm often out there on my own, or with Matt. Like he actually surfs quite big stuff,
Okay, yeah.
And so it's often just us two out there. Or like I say, or somewhere where the wife sent me out where I don't really want to be, and I'm just for entertainment and some photos. So yeah.
How is this duo working? Like you're the surfer and she's the photographer, and you just push each other?
No, it's quite cool, really. Like she loves the beach and she likes just being there. She finds it relaxing.
Yeah.
And then she'll like the other day I looked at bobbler. I looked a bit small, but there was no one out, and I was quite fancying that. And she was like, "Oh no, it's rubbish," It's not going to be very exciting for me. And then next thing I'm paddling out in double overhead beach break with no makeable sections. And there was a couple where I was lucky my board survived it, so. But yeah, she's, like I say, it's good for me because it does make me, like usually I'll try and surf the biggest spot anyway. And I always tell people like at least once a month if you can to try and push yourself out of your comfort zone and get into that thing, and then next time you'll be fine, That's
wise words.
Yeah. So, especially here, it's easy to do. There's plenty of places where you can, feel a little uncomfortable at least once a month, and you'll get used to it soon.
Did you do Digital? But back to it, it's nice because in the army we have so many guys and girls who are into the surf community, and then team up and find a partner who's not. And that partner finds surfing to be really fascinating for like the intro part of things.
Yeah.
And then of course it's most of these people, they don't find it enjoyable at all.
No.
And then they just stay home, and then it turns into what we call, how can I translate that? We say there's a lot of wrecked marriages in the sea.
Yeah. No, well,
in the
this
waves.
is it. Like, I mean, if my wife wasn't into it, then you might go 8 hours a day not seeing each other. Whereas, like, she loves hunting the waves. She loves, like, she was down Bobbler yesterday, photographing, like, just chatting to all the surfers, and a lot of people know her now, and she just loves that lifestyle and community.
It's brilliant,
so, yeah, it's quite cool. So
the pro tip from Thomas is jump in way bigger than you want to.
Yeah.
Always go on the beach breaks and get a wife that
the
same as you, almost.
Enjoys.
She doesn't take your waves, but she does everything.
No, yeah, and like I say, if you want a relaxing surf, you're not going to get it when she's there. So.
Oh, brilliant. What's the Instagram name of her?
Sarah Milkweed.
Check it out.
I think, yeah. So
check it out. How about the localism part of Wales compared?
I kind of get away with it in Wales.
Because you're local.
Well, because I'm local to the spot I'm at, and I mean, it's not, to be honest, it's not that bad most places. But and even in Wales, quite often I'll look for a quieter spot or something, But there are waves that get busy. But yeah, like I say, it's not too bad. There's not that much localism, and a lot of the time, there's different spots working on different tides and stuff. And if somewhere's mega crowded, you'll just pass it for somewhere else. So, yeah,
it's what when you have the choice.
Yeah,
it often makes the temperature.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and like I say, the waves, a lot of the time the waves are quite spread out, and you got a couple of peaks and stuff, so you can move around a bit better than here, I guess.
Yeah. How's the general feel of because obviously there has to be a niche thing in Wales as well, or in the UK as well. Surfing, it's not like a.
Yeah, no, it is. It's pretty niche, but like I say, it's. I don't know, like, I mean, compared to other sports, it's tiny. But there are, like, especially now, like, they've got 2 wave pools come up in the UK, and yeah, it's getting a bit more.
But I mean, of course, you had the wave pool in Snow. How is it called? Snowdonia? No.
Snowdonia, but that's closed now.
Is it closed? Yeah, okay. But I mean, it's still gonna be a niche thing anyway.
It is. Yeah, it's always gonna be niche. But I mean, that's part of the appeal, I guess, with surfing. Is it's not something. I mean, sometimes even I wonder what I'm doing when you're up at 6 a.m, scraping ice off your car, picking your wetsuit up.
Yeah, what are you doing? Why the fuck are you doing that?
I sometimes just think, like, why? Would it be better just doing another sport, like a nice, I don't know,
indoor?
Like dancing or something. Like, I just, if you were into something like that, it'd be great. But
what's your most horrendous winter experiences up here?
Oh, I mean, there's so many horrendous winter experiences. Like, I'm terrible. I'm really unorganized, so I'm often leaving the wetsuit out. So stuff like that, and stiff but I like just changing in the like, it's the wind as well. The wind and the, like, I've surfed.
Vigitil.
Yeah, I've been changing, freezing, wind, sleet, everything. It's. Like you think you're a cold water surfer when you surf in Wales, but sometimes here it's a different level,
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's grim, but it's fine once you're in there, It's just, and you forget about the bad bits. I mean, it's like anything. It's like when you travel, you can have the most horrendous journey there. As long as the holiday's all right, you just forget it, type thing. So. A bit like that.
But I mean, it's avoidable though. You can just take your wets out inside. I would.
Yeah, no, I just think, I'll be all right, and then and then the next morning I regret it massively. So
how does this translate into the rest of your life?
I'm really unorganized, So but.
To the great pleasure of your wife, I would. And
well, she's the same. To be fair, she's pretty unorganized. So, yeah. but yeah, like I say, there's like one of the guys I surf with, Matt here. He's super organised. Like, he's got everything, but then he gets really angry with me because there's one time he left something in the car and he told me where the car key was, and I got all excited. I left his car key on the floor, my phone on the floor, and just went surfing and just left it there for the whole thing. He was furious when he got back. Right, but yeah, I'm all over the place. The wife's a bit like that as well, but yeah, I mean, it works.
You work with what you have, so
yeah,
it's brilliant though. One of the really fucking nice things about Jæren is that it's so low key and it's so nice. Basically, it's fucking nice. So I mean, so many times I've had fucking camera equipment for like 100,000 kronas. I just throw it on the beach, like.
Yeah. No, it's unbelievable.
The car keys on the floor. Just throw.
Well,
it.
it's like.
I mean, if you wanted to, you can steal every fucking car in the harbor.
Yeah, and you see it like when the surf's on, like guys are just setting up their cameras and stuff. Whereas I've known like friends of mine back in Wales have left a spare board on the beach and it's been taken, you know. Whereas you just don't get that here. But
it's actually the other way around. If somebody by chance should take it, people just go together and like
try and work out.
Try to work it out.
Yeah, who's left it.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no, it's
how did you getting here in the first place? How did you find exploring the coastline?
Oh, it's so different because, like I say, in Wales you've got like maybe a 30-degree swell window.
In much more predictable ways.
Yeah. So you get one swell coming up, and you kind of, you know what exactly what forecast to look at and stuff. Whereas here, like you got almost like 180 degrees. You get multiple swells. Like I'd use Surfline for the swell, but the wind's always a bit funky on Surfline, I find. So use windy for the wind, and then it takes a while. And like I say, it's like the first year I moved here, it was just perfect all the time. Like I surfed.
It was a good season, basically.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I surfed.
Vigtel.
I surfed, like
Vigtel
5 times that year. I surfed loads.
Vigtel.
Now, last few years they've barely been there. I'm surfing all these spots that are there for a month, and then all of a sudden they've gone. And
it's the perfect tease. It just gives you the best season ever.
I couldn't believe my luck when I first moved here. I was like, how does nobody know about this place? And then it dawned on me pretty quick that it was just a good year. But it's it's like I say, it's a lot different, and a lot of the time. But it's cool because now I've worked it out a bit. I know, especially the beaches, they like it when there's like a solid swell one direction and then like another secondary swell. It kind of wedges them up a bit more, and it's quite interesting, and it's cool finding new spots. And it's like a lot in Wales has been found. It's known. Whereas I still feel there's some diamonds in the rough here, and it's fun, and it changes so much. Like you'll have a spot that's amazing for 6 months, and then it's not there the next year. So,
how much time did you reckon you needed to feel like I got the grasp of this place? I
mean, I still don't feel like I got the grasp of it. I'm still searching on a regular basis, but I felt. I mean, the first year I'd just paddle out in Steinen no matter what happened. It was just even if it was massive onshore, it'd just be, I'll just give it a go type thing. But now, maybe like a year or two, year and a half. But I mean, I spent a lot of time looking at Google Maps and trying to work out.
Yeah, the classic.
And now, I quite fancy, I look at, Lister and stuff on Google Maps, and that looks like it's got loads of good setups, but I've never been down there, so...
How far is your action diameter? I mean, if you're if too far, you have time, so...
Yeah, I got
depending on your family life.
Basically anything from north of Stavanger to all the way down to...
Basically everything from north of Stavanger to south of Stavanger.
Well, I'm further than that, yeah. So, there's plenty of waves, but Yeah, if you look at Google Maps, there's but it's weird because like I don't know what's the secret spot, because like the places where I've had my best surfs, most people say is a closeout, you know, and they know about it. They maybe just don't check it on certain conditions. Like I think people get too reliant on Surfline, you know. If it says fair to good,
I mean,
they're there, you know. Whereas there's a lot of times when, yeah, like it's not forecast, but you'll see.
Yeah,
you see where it gets in.
I mean, we've been joking a lot about Surfline being fucking horrendous, but I mean,
but it's good for the swell. It's just for some reason it seems to pick the wind up from somewhere else. Like the wind forecast on is terrible for here.
We just from Magic Seaweed to Surfline, we just felt like the drop off was so
standard. Yeah,
that was so. But I mean, we didn't do any like true empiric research on it. But just after that, we just it became a running joke, like everything is port to shit. I mean, fair to bad. What is it like? Port to fair.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, so
best condition, port to fair.
Yeah, no, it's weird. I don't know. Like in Wales, one of the forecasters lives in Wales, so it's usually spot on, you know. But yeah, I don't know about here, I guess. But like I say, there's so many little nooks and crannies and. Yeah, like there's.
I mean, it's a long coast.
Yeah, it's a long coast. Yeah,
shitloads of beaches.
Yeah, and I mean, it can be, you know, it can be poor in I don't know, Selle, and then fantastic.
Vigtel.
You know, but how would you put that on a surf forecast? I mean, that's why you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. You just got to forget it. Look at the swell and look at the wind, and just forget. It's a
good point. We are just talking about Surfline like being the most shitty place in the world, but then again, how the hell are you supposed to make it good?
Yeah, exactly. When you've got
Selle here working shit, and then you have Vigtel, 2 meters,
yeah, which is as good as it gets, you know. So it's literally around the corner. So yeah. How do you forecast? Like, how do you get a good forecast on that? Unless it's someone local looking at the thing, and then who's gonna give away?
And I'm actually more scared of, I'm probably more chance of hurting myself in weaker sort of beach break waves than what I would be surfing those slabs and stuff.
So it's the safe option. The Allstars, the safe option. Yeah. That should be the name of the movie.
We're going to start promoting slab surfing as a safe way to start.
Tom, you're in the Vision team, aren't you?
I met Richard quite early on. I did okay in a contest at the start, and Richard was sponsoring it, and I got chatting with him, and super nice guy, and that was before he started building up to what he's got now. So and shout out to Richard and Vision.
Yeah, check out his shop at Shelter.
Lucifer, son of the morning, I'm gonna chase you out.
How do you find the general vibe? Not the vibe, but I mean the general way of being of the Norwegian. I mean the crowds. I mean the surf community in Norway is pretty much international as fuck. But I mean, how is it comparatively to the UK?
I mean, Norwegians are quite. Are known for being quite reclusive, you know. Whereas in the UK, I'm reclusive. Out here, I feel like a social butterfly. Yeah, say hello to people. And But now I've got to know people. Yeah, it's a lot better. But yeah, it's like the first person who started messaging me to go for a surf and stuff was Philippe, you know, and a couple of the Brazilians. Yeah, and it's. Like I say, I do find the Norwegians a bit more standoffish, but once you get to know them, like I say, Sarah was chatting to everyone the other day, and like now I speak to people in the water all the time, and but it takes a while to bed in, I guess. And
but probably the same everywhere, I guess. But yeah, it's the common Norwegian thing is being.
Yeah. But I mean that suits me down to the ground. Like that's me as well.
You're the Welsh recluse.
I am, yeah. Compared to but like I say, I fit in well in Norway.
Compared to your mates, then.
Yeah.
Compared to your mates in Wales?
Oh yeah, some of my mates are proper. Yeah, they love.
Proper assholes.
Yeah. Oh, they love the attention.
Would you name and shame any of them?
I mean, yeah. There's Rob Miles. He's
fucking.
Yeah, he's well known for
that guy.
Yeah, getting nude when he shouldn't. Yeah.
Small dick.
Well, I try not to look at it, but when he's waving it around, it's. But no, it's back home I'd say I was quite reclusive. Whereas out here I fit in quite well.
It's funny, though. But I mean, obviously you're like of course you're recluse because you're from a village with 100 people.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe it's. Maybe that's just, I'm used to just speaking to cousins and that's it.
What's the best spot in the, I mean, doing some research on you, by the way, it's much easier to research Norwegians than Englishmen because there's fucking shitloads of people
Welsh.
Called Tom Hayman.
Yeah.
Thomas Hayman.
Yeah.
You're not by any chance a professor?
No, there's no, definitely not a professor.
No. It's but I did see that you've been fucking all over, man.
Yeah. No, I used to do. I used to holiday quite a lot. I've been to Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Sumatra, Java, Bali, Taiwan, Sri Lanka. I've done a fair bit. Fair bit of surfing.
What's your favorite destinations up through the years?
Oh,
for different reasons, I guess.
Yeah, like I loved Sumatra. I stayed in surf camp there, Mandiri Beach Club, and it's run by a couple of English guys. So yeah, I got on quite well with them, and it's just got a perfect. It's a beach break. A barreling beach break in the tropics.
so Thomas was all alone there.
Yeah, so I was enjoying that. Like Costa Rica's great for a family. So yeah, I'd say like that's a great dip, but a lot of it's like closing out beach breaks again.
Perfect.
And then Nicaragua's great. Maldives was really good, but it would like I don't know if I went back if we'd get the same swell, right. So I've kind of parked that one. But yeah, and France, I love France. Like France is as good as anywhere. But
is that for you guys? Is that like would that be like a short holiday, or would that be like?
Yeah, usually. Well, I mean, it used to be quite cheap flights, so you'd like look at a forecast and nip over there. But nowadays.
Out of Bristol or out of Cardiff or out of
probably out of London, or Bristol. But it used to be quite accessible, but it's a bit harder now. Same with Ireland. But there's some really good waves in the northeast of England, like some really good waves up by Newcastle way, and North Yorkshire. That like if you got them on a forecast, they're as good as anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I say, everywhere's got its merits. Taiwan was great because of the culture. I loved that, and it's got some really good waves. But I've been to quite a few places. I've been quite fortunate with that.
Have you any of your friends from back home? Have they pestered you to come here? Or do they view you like an idiot?
Oh no, Rob's been out. He actually did a contest out here. I think it's the only barrel I've seen in a Norwegian contest. I think there's a picture of it somewhere. It was I can't remember what it was. Just one of the fun. Local contest, and
boat rider contest. Basically.
Yeah, somehow it was in Reve, and it was quite a big day, and he managed to sneak a little head dip in there.
Yeah, beautiful. Leave a mark when you're just
and then we had some really good waves as when he was out here on
Vigtel.
It was really good. Like I say, like if you get it on the right conditions, it's really good here. It's as good as anywhere. It's worth a trip. And it's surprising how heavy it is. Like like sometimes, like
Vigdel?
like sometimes you think you'd be a bit cocky and sit on the inside, and then a set come in and it feels like you've been run over by a truck. You know, it gets a lot of power. And
I've been run over by a truck a few times.
Yeah. Like it's surprising how heavy some of the waves are here. But yeah, no, like he's been out once, and there's a few guys who want to come out, but it's so hard to tell them when to come. If you know what I mean, like
terrible. Yeah?
And sometimes when like he was going to come out a few weeks back, and I told him, it's probably not worth it, and then it turned into one of the best conditions we've had this year. You know, so. Yeah, it's like I say, it's hard to forecast. So.
Listen to Tom and do the opposite, basically.
Yeah, well, like I say, to be fair, wherever he goes in the world, he seems to score. So maybe that's the trick. Tell him to come out, and we'll get some good waves. But
that's the key for next season.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should getting close to an end. It's been fucking brilliant. I have to tell you. Growing up, my favorite team was Aston Villa, and my favorite player was Dean Saunders. Do you know him?
Dean Saunders, I've heard of him. He's Welsh, yeah.
Phone number or anything? No.
No. I've never been that big into football. It's all rugby by me. So
I love that guy. So curly, black-haired.
Yeah,
makes no sense. But we always recommend something in this. What's your recommendation this week?
Well, this week, if you're driving down to Steynon and you see even the slightest barrel on the beach,
go for it.
Forget Steynon and go to the beach, even if it's for half an hour.
This is an actual good recommendation. My favorite recommendations we've done here through 5-6 years is Jæren. Our friend Jæren, he recommended using blink lights on the car.
Oh yeah,
in the roundabouts. Check out. Do you use blinking?
We do. It's more common in the UK than it is here. I can tell you that.
Are you planning to stay in Norway for the long run, or is it just?
Yeah, no. It's not, as long as I got work out here. The wife's doing some studying in the UK now, but so I'm back and forth a lot more. But yeah, I'll be out here as long as there's work out here, I guess. So yeah.
Is it okay for
so
you?
I'll have to learn Norwegian, huh?
Yeah, but is it okay living away from your family? Is it works out?
Yeah, it's fine. Like I say, it's not too far to get back, and yeah, it's not like I imagine the shock for some of the guys from Brazil and stuff like that is a lot worse than someone coming from Wales.
Thiago didn't go home for like 4 years or whatever.
Oh, is it? Yeah,
3 years.
And it's such a change in climate and stuff, whereas it's not such a shock for me. So.
My recommendation, by the way, would be check out The Rehearsal on HBO. Have you seen it? HBO
Which
Max.
one's that?
The Rehearsal.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's fucking awesome.
Is it?
Funny as fuck.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I'm looking for something to watch.
It's a strange, acquired taste, but when you get it, it's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Tom, this was great. This was great.
Yeah, all good.
How did you do?
I have no idea. I don't even know how long we talked for. It's weird because like
an hour. Yeah, it just flies by.
Yeah, and you don't know if you've got stuff to talk about, and then it's like
never a problem.
No.
Ciao. Good night.
tar jeg aldri med i beregninger.